Okay. Well, let's wait for this to get started, and then we shall go. Alright. Everyone, this is Will from Productions², and we're back to do some more streaming. We will get to the bank plugin in a minute, but I wanted to I don't know if I've shown this on a stream before or not. What I have for the Crimson Echoes trailer. But I'm going to go ahead and do that again, even if I have, because maybe I haven't done the whole thing yet. There is one section where there's some video from the section about Isla that's missing, but this is what I have so far. I'm going to just fix this a bit. Video, zoom, probably half of this. Yeah, there's a part where there's some video missing. So that's what I have so far. There's some cleanup I have to do in terms of, like, there's spaces you probably see some red flashing around on the top or bottom. Those are dialogue windows that are, for whatever reason, still in there, even though I've tried to cut them back as far as possible. You have to do them on a frame basis. So you have to cut off frames until they stop, and it kind of gets annoying because actually the timing that I have for this set up for, like, the title transitions and things like that are done to a frame, to an actual the frame level. So wait until I get everything else done to do that, so I can figure out how much I have to work with for the end part of it, because I want to kind of shorten it a little bit to make it work a little bit better with the music. That's what I got so far. Might be what I had before when I showed this, but I had forgotten what I showed. So okay, let's see. No, I don't care. So I didn't do any work on this from yesterday, so we're just gonna pick up where we left off. So we had some issues. So undefined is not a function. Line 543. 543 banks. Bank ID. Oh yeah, update bank. That's what it was. Oh no, wait. Bank ID. So details window get bank, because we don't have a get bank function for details. Yeah, because we don't have it in there yet. I don't think that's going to be part of something we're going to be adding. So for now, I guess we can just comment that out. Alright, so the buy one is showing, but the cancel is not showing. And that's after I changed it to 2 columns instead of 1. So what can we do with this? So let me see if we can actually figure out where that window's at. Or not window, where the option's at. Because there's buy, but where's sell? So I mean it's there, but it must be off screen way over on the other side somewhere. Because we can switch to it. And we can select it. But it's not showing up on the screen. So maybe our placement code is wrong. Draw action item. No, we want to go down to buy bond details. Okay. So draw command item. So we have an item rect as well. So the rect X and Y. So this could also be part of the problem. So the X looks like it's fine because this one draws correctly. Well, the X is here correctly. The Y seems to be correct on this one, but the second one seems to be the issue. Maybe because the text is being drawn into the rectangle, which is what the cursor is being used to lock onto. But so the thing that's probably sending it way over there is this XY on the rectangle. I think all we really need to do is to say so item rect. So draw command item. So this is going through like a loop. We have a rectangle X. Y. This we shouldn't change any of this because it's drawing stuff into the rectangle. We need to figure out how to. So where are we drawing the rectangles from? This item for rect text. It might be in here. It might not. Item rect. Oh right, item rect. That's where it's at. But okay, and then this is getting called from somewhere. So draw item? No. There's got to be a list or there's got to be a and we're going way past where we need to be. We'll have to probably go through and then back up. Okay. So item for rect, item rect for text. Okay, no, this is actually not what we want. This is actually just referencing something that's already there. We want to actually know where we're calling this at. This is creating it. And somewhere there's going to be a call to this in a loop. Hit test, no. Well, this equals rect index, no. Yeah, so equals index, so the index is the number, new rectangle, XY. Okay, so what we can do is, let's go ahead and bring this over, we'll overwrite it. What we can do is a ternary on index. So, equals index equals 1 or equals 0. So if true, then the x for it will be let's say 25. We'll start with that and see what happens. For y, well, 25, and if it's not, then it will be oh wait, it is already up here. Never mind, we did bring it over. We just need to change this then. So index equals 0, 25, or what I would like to do is item rect for text. So we just call equals index item rect index var rect equals and return rect. Okay, so we're not really storing this anywhere. We're just basically sending it through a request, creating a rectangle, and getting one back. That's not really being stored anywhere. They're just being created on the fly, which is kind of ridiculous because I mean, it's not very memory friendly. I mean, sometimes you have to do that, but I think at this point, for this one, since you can have like a list of commands, there should be a list of rectangles for those commands. But whatever. So there's not really a way to get the width of a rectangle that's been created. Well, it uses item width, but then it also gets added onto with this text padding, which is what? What is the text padding? It'd be nice if these were like in alphabetical order. Text padding, text padding, text padding, text padding. Six. Okay, so it could be the item width, which is what on this one? What is item width? So item width is based on the width minus the padding times 2 plus the spacing divided by max calls minus the spacing. Okay, so that's why it's probably all the way over on the other side of the window, because it's using that rect.width value to place it so that it's they're on either side of the window. Okay. So I guess we'll have to do this manually then. So 25. That looked like it took up. Well, it's over there now. And we kind of have it caught in the cancel. But it looked like it took a pretty good amount of space. We don't need that to take up that much space. It'd be nice if it was more centered, which I think we can do where, as far as drawing the text goes. But you probably only need it to be, it shouldn't even be half of the screen of the window size. It should be less than that. The width is like 450 or so, 500. $475. So 25 or and the width we're gonna change to. The width isn't gonna be this width. We're gonna change it to a. We don't even need max calls. I don't even know why they're storing it for. They don't really need. Oh, the mouse is connected. All right, no longer. It's charged now. So because we want to do this more customized than this, so we don't need that. So the width is going to be, let's see, so 475. I'll say the width is going to be maybe 120, and the height is going to be 50. And then for the X and Y, we'll put 25, and then 25 and 50. Or yeah, 25 and 120 is 155, 145, plus some extra room. Let's put it at around maybe one. Let's see. So half of 475 is going to be like 220, 237.5. No, 236.5. No, 7.5. Yeah. That's like half of the window. We want to get a little bit more than that, so maybe 288 maybe. So put 288 for the X. And then for the Y, we just want to put that maybe towards the bottom. So this dot height minus like 30 or 40 maybe, and that'll be the same for both. Now for the draw item, we're going to say center. Alright, let's see what that does. Yay, they don't even exist anymore. Awesome. Okay. So. Oh, they're down there. They're there. Both of them are down there, apparently. So they're both on the same line, which is interesting. So let's see. The X. So X is this way, Y is up and down. So why would the X be the same? So index. Oh. Maybe. To me, that should have caused an error if that was a problem. Probably was. Okay, there we go. So, as you can see now, we got them down there. That was part of the problem. You need to be equals equals. So, X looks pretty good. The spacing looks good. You got it just far enough away from the edge there, and it looks like it's an even amount from the other side. It looks like they have a pretty. Looks like it's the first time I actually managed to get something exactly where it needs to be on the first try. Well, not exactly. We need to change the Y. The Y is a little bit too low. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Let's change this to 135. Let's see what that does. Well, that's got to be too much. Oh, we'll see. The way I like to do this is you overdo it, and then you can dial it back. That way you get a better idea of where things are at. I think 135 might be way too high. No, it's in the middle. Okay. So, or nearly the middle. So we definitely want to drop it down, maybe to 72. Oops. By bond. Closer. It's closer. Maybe a little bit more. Let's try 65. 65, not 56. And then we'll get about drawing the other details on here. Should be fairly close. No, that's a little too far. You can see it cuts. It's cutting off the thing now. Because there's like there's a padding border around where stuff will be drawn on a window, so you don't actually have the entire window to use. So this is being cut off. So we need to. It might have been being cut off before too. Let's try 80. Yeah, I think this is closer. Now what we can do is we can change the height on this to say 45 or maybe even 42 or 43, because I think the height's a little bit too high. Closer. I'm gonna try and get these centered without having to actually move the text anywhere. So maybe 36. Much better. Okay. We'll leave the width the way it is because it works for cancel. So now buy is like that because we don't have the money to. Well, I don't know. We should have it. I'm not sure why. I think. Why is it red? So if the cost is less than the game party gold. Remember, this is the first one. The basic bond 10. Oh wait, other way. That's to change the color to say it's not, and this is to say that we can. Alright, add the conditions backwards. That makes more sense. I was going to say, it's only like 4,000. I could not afford that. Okay, so. Now, for the other stuff, it has to be done in the refresh. So, we need to find the refresh here. And we need to see what we'll need to. Window selectable. Dot prototype. Dot refresh. Equals. So that's all it is. Contents clear and draw all items. Okay. We'll just take this. Go over here and in the refresh section, which we'll put. I guess let's put it at the end here. This. Oops. Change that. Let's draw all items. That's fine. So we need to put it in here. Alright, so we need to draw like a bunch of stuff on here. So first of all, let's figure out what we need to actually do. So we need the bond name. We need to have space for that. So I would say basically bond name. Then maybe a bunch of space for the name because the name can be kind of long. And then bond interest rate. Or just say interest rate. Because that'll be much shorter. Say price. A price. And then matured value. And then time to mature. So 5 items. Alright. So on these two, we'll be doing having to use the width of these to find where these get placed. This one will be fine. So I hate these ones because they're kind of annoying. Because what's happened is you have to figure out what the longest name is, because the name is going to be the longest probably. Most number of characters, and build these to that specification, because if you want these two to line up, then it's got to be based off the name and not the price. So, depends on what the longest name is. Let's see. So for now, we'll do this way, but eventually, when this com list becomes something like a parameter that you bring in, we'll have to have a function that'll go through and find the longest name, and then use that as the way that's set up. Hopefully, that will not overdo. Or what we could do is we could take this and shove it in this area, and then have it list them vertically. Well, at the same time, then that makes it kind of look weird, because then we have this, we have these two commands here. Well, we'll see how this works out first. I think this will be fine. This is plenty of room, but the text is pretty large, I suppose. I mean, just like at this text size up here, which I think I'll drop anyway because that's a little bit large. It takes up, like what would be basically half of this, just for something like this. Let me see, how many characters would that be? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. So this is going to be what, 5? Well, 6 plus the space. And what's the longest name? We could extend this out more, I suppose, if we had to, as well. So I think it's probably basic bond. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 11. So 11 plus 6 is 17. So yeah, the first one of these would be almost half with the name. And then we'd have the well, it might work. Let's see. Let's go ahead and build it and see what it looks like, and then we can decide what we want to do with it. Alright, so first things first is we need to look over here. I guess just draw text all the way down. Where the hell is the... Oh, it's at the bottom, right. That's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, just draw text all the way down. So, clear contents. Reset the XY. And then, reset text color, and then all that stuff. All this good, awesome stuff that makes your brain hurt when you try and do it sometimes. Alright, so already got the contents.clear. There x equals 0. There x, or y equals 0. And then this dot contents dot reset text color, or does this reset? Okay, reset text color. All right, that makes sure we have the white text color instead of any other color. Okay. So the first thing we're going to draw is going to be at 0, 0. And it's going to be the bond name. So this dot draw text bond name plus this to underscore bond dot get name. So x, y, now see, for width on those, we were using 210. Oh, we'll see how that works. 210, 36, and then it's the, yeah, or when it's, so it'll be left. Okay, then this dot draw text plus this dot underscore bnd dot get interest plus %. So now this one needs to be, the x needs to be the width plus a little bit extra space for formatting reasons of padding. So maybe 218. The y can be the same. And then 36 for the text, the height, or 210. Yeah, 210 should still work. It's only 438, so it's not the entirety of the window. So that should be fine. Then 36, and then also left. All right, let's see what that gets us, if anything. No. What are we? 56. Get interest. T65 get interest is not a function. Get name. Oh no, we don't have it. Wow. Or no, mature. That's where it's not. There's no interest. Right. Let's change that to time to mature then. It's still going to be less characters. So where's our? Let's see, time to mature. Get M time. And we won't need that because it's not a percent. Alright. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay. We can make this longer then. And we got all this extra space here, so there's no reason we couldn't make it longer. We'll just need to readjust the cancel option here. Create bond details window. Yeah. Width, let's say 4. Yeah, and the text is kind of getting mashed for the first one, the bond name, because there's not enough room for it. So the text is being shrunk. That's why it looks kind of weird. So, crap. So, 525. Let's start with this. Try that and see where that gets us. Then we're going to add some more padding to that. Here we are. So instead of 218, it'll be 230. And actually, let's make it 240 because I'm gonna make this 220. And then for the Y on the second, or the X on the second, we're gonna make this so 525. That's like 263.5. So actually, it probably was more. It probably won't look quite right. Yeah, no, that didn't look quite right. 75, and then on these, this still doesn't look good enough. Let's move this to 250, then make this 280, and then this 220. So that's also getting kind of crushed as well a little bit. Buy a bond. Okay, that's too far now. Or we can change the text size. So I think it's 24 or 5 by default. We can change it down to 22 or less. So this dot text size, font size equals 22. What's that get us? Still not quite right, so let's go ahead and make it larger. Let's say 260, or 560 rather. I'm too far now. Create bond, there, so 560. Alright, so back down here. 560, that's 562. Yeah, 280. Okay, so 280 is the midpoint. So 365 maybe. Now for this, we want to put a little bit more space. So 90. This looks okay. Good. That looks pretty good. That could still be moved over a bit further, but that's fine. As long as these aren't getting crushed anymore. Now, Next line. This dot draw text price. This dot underscore bond dot get cost. So again, XY. The Y, however, will be Y plus the item height plus a little extra. So we'll say 38. 38. Or I guess, yeah, we don't have to do the times 1 or times because it's only going to be one other line here. Then the length, which will be let's say 235. Height 36, and then left. As for the last one, this dot draw text. Not shared value. Now for the X, it's going to be 290 because it needs to be lined up with the other one. The Y is Y plus 38, so it's lined up with the price. So it's lined up with the price and time to mature now on the X and Y. Length, we'll just say 220, 36 and left. Alright, and that should draw this window. We may have to do a little bit more on the line, on the Y for those, we'll see. That's pretty close. So you can still see these are still getting crushed because you can see how they look different. It's because the text size is still being crushed. This is probably what it more likely is supposed to look like at 22. Let's change this down to 18. That's weird. It still looks like it's not. These things look like they're still, yeah, the larger font size. These things look like they might be changing, but those aren't. Well, let's see. This is the best way to test something like this, is just to put some stupid value. Either really small or really large. No, yeah, that's not changing. Okay. This dot font size is not the right function, apparently. Let's see. Oh, it's contents dot font size. That's what it is. Oh, I even have it up there. I never noticed. This dot contents dot font size. I'll put it 22 and we'll see what effect that has. Okay, there we go. That's much more. It's closer to maybe what we want. So that's 22. And we could probably go a bit larger. Looks like it's fine on that one. Let's try 24. I'm not sure what the default font size is. I don't think it's 24, but it could be. And 24 is better. Now what we can do is we can actually shrink this window a bit. So really all we need to do, well, we might need to change the X, or the Y, I mean, on, well, no, it should be fine, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Where are we? We need to go up more. We need the scene. Here we go. So, minus 82. Let's try minus 120. Perfect. Awesome. And then we can move the X of that down a bit. Or the Y of that down a bit, I mean. So maybe plus 72. Just to give a little bit more space between that and the bank details. Excellent. Okay. Well, maybe a little bit more to make it equal between the two. Oh, you can do that some other time. That's more for when this entire window's done. The entire scene is done. So we got our bond. We can buy it now. We can cancel it. Since the price is, since we got 500 more than what the price is, we can buy it. Matured value there. Time to mature. Good. We got our basic information up here. So you can still get the interest rate. It's just up here in the help text window. So yeah, I mean, oh cool, that does work. Awesome. Oh wow. Okay, no it doesn't. That cancel got eaten by this, I think. But yeah, so there you go. We have the basic structure. Well, actually, not the basic structure, but we have the visual part of the window done now. We just need to do the innards of it to make it actually do what it's supposed to do when we click on buy or cancel. So yeah, there you go. That's great for the stream for now. I might do some more later tonight. I'm thinking though of doing another SO3 stream, maybe. So be on the lookout for that. If I do it, it's going to be around probably somewhere around 7 to 8. It'll probably start 7 to 8 my time. So that would be 8 or 9 hours from now, about. Well, maybe not 8, maybe 9 or 10 hours from now. Or more likely, let's see, 12 hours would put us at 9 o'clock. More likely 10 to 11, yeah, 10 to 11 hours from now. That's better. I think that's actually more accurate. So, be on the lookout for that. What else? I think that's it for now. So, thanks for watching the stream if you did so live, or watching on YouTube afterwards. Comments, questions, leave them below. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel, and I will see you either later today or tomorrow morning for some more of this.